Hi, this is Liz.
Hi, this is Deli.
Thank you for joining us here on the Chit Circus podcast. We are your hosts, as always, with, of course, our clown mascot, Ruby, always present. Thank you for joining us today. All right, so Deli, a few episodes ago here on the podcast, we talked about movie recommendations. And you had one from your friend, Alyssa.
Yes.
But the name escaped you. So I asked you, I'm like, that's fine. We'll look it up later. But we asked again, and you forgot again.
I know.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. But now, at last, drum roll, please. Okay. We have the title of Alyssa's recommended movie. What do we have?
We actually have a couple movies recommended by
a couple movies. Okay.
Yes,
even better. It was worth the wait then.
Okay. So the first one is Mr. Right.
Mr. Right. Was that the one she was talking about the first time, you think? You can remember the name? Okay.
Yes, it was. And then there is one on...
how right can Mr. Right be if you can't even remember his name?
I have no clue. I have no clue how he can be. But and the second one is Tall Girl.
Tall Girl. Okay.
Tall Girl. And Mary Poppins Returns.
Okay.
And okay, here's a show. One of the shows.
Who forgets Mary Poppins?
Well, I knew that.
Okay, but that wasn't the one she was talking about. Oh, okay. Yes.
So the other one was
building it gradually over several weeks.
Yes.
You can't give out a movie title right away.
No, of course not. But the other ones are
I would love that if Siskel and Ebert like reviewed a film. They're like old movie reviewers from Chicago, but I would love it if they like reviewed a film and then they made you wait a week to tell you what the title was. They just left everything really vague.
I kept it vague, but because I mostly forgot. Okay, I remember.
I know. I'm just teasing you. I'm just thinking that would be really funny.
I know.
Okay, so she has another movie recommendation.
So this one is actually a show. It's called All American, an Atypical Show that she suggested.
Is it a comedy show or some kind of TV show?
But it's definitely a TV show or a comedy show. I don't know. It's one of those. And it's on Netflix unless you have no Netflix, no life, and you only get Hulu. Hulu.
Ooh, burn on Hulu. Yikes.
So,
oh dear.
Then you're going to have an issue watching these unless Hulu can cover it.
So let's hold up. It looks like you got some movie recommendations there. Have you had a chance to see this movie that she recommended?
I have seen, obviously, Mary Poppins Returns.
Okay, but Mr. Right was the one she recommended.
But
have you had a chance to see that yet?
Right.
You haven't? Your best friend recommends a movie and you're like, okay, I'll get to it. Never.
I did say I'll get to it, but the most reason why I've not been watching them is because I'm obsessed with the series that I'm finally gotten back into, and that's the only one I'm watching.
Okay, well, what is that series?
Y'all are gonna laugh your asses off, but it's called The Vampire Diaries.
Okay, yeah.
So
I think everybody gets into that for a moment, and then yeah.
I've been stuck into it.
I was into it for a moment, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm not into it anymore.
I was in high school, and then I was in college, and now I'm getting back into it because of quarantine. But
So what about Alyssa's other movie recommendations? Have you guys have watched it? You go to a lot of films, and you've watched movies together in the past.
Have.
What would you say are some of her favorite films? Do you have similar tastes?
We definitely do, because we always double check and watch the trailers before quarantine existed. Before we went to a theater, we'd be like, is this something you want to see? Do you want to pay $14 to see this?
Yeah.
So our favorite film, I would say, was when The Greatest Showman came
Oh,
out.
yes, you told me about that. But that was your favorite movie of 2019.
We saw that, or she saw that at least 2 times. I think we saw that together 2 times, or she saw it with another friend 2 times.
Yeah.
But we saw that. And that was, I would say, our favorite of all times.
So, but you guys would say you generally have the same taste. So if she recommends a movie, you're probably likely to like it.
Exactly.
Okay,
sometimes I barely even look at the trailer because we have similar tastes that, whatever she likes, usually I like, and whatever I like. Well, no, I like horror films. So let's say our
tastes
what are
some of your other favorite films, Deli? Because I think they're hilarious.
Some of our tastes do come to a stop when it comes to horror films. The thing that got me into horror films, it was called The Pack. I love it. It's about
called The Pack. I don't know if you can
legit called The Pack.
It's an Australian film about crazy dogs.
Yes, that attack humans. They found a new taste of food.
And then there was another Netflix movie.
The Zoombies.
Zoombies. No, it wasn't the Zoombies.
Okay, that's one of them.
Which was another one of your favorites.
The dinosaur, Cowboys versus Dinosaurs.
Versus
Oh my
Dinosaurs.
god, I love that. They took all my horror movies off Netflix.
I remember seeing that on the Netflix list of things. I don't know why I was recommending it. Probably because you had seen it. I'm looking at that, wondering who is watching this film. Delphine is watching that film. Apparently, that was one of her faves.
I loved it. It's my ultimate faves. I will list some of my favorite horror films. Real quick, that was my favorite. Mm-hmm. I made my family watch all my favorite horror films, and I would repeat the funny parts. Obviously, they would get annoyed.
Yeah, we couldn't really be scared because she's like, "Oh, you're gonna love this part. It's great. You know, the thing bites the dude's head or arm off or something." We're like, "Okay, well now we're not scared because we know exactly what's coming."
But
and then she's giggling through the whole thing. Which obviously takes the seriousness and any edge of the horror right away.
Exactly. So, another one. They're now on Amazon, but of course Netflix gets rid of the best horror films ever.
Netflix, bring back your cheesy horror films. If there's animals in it, even better.
Oh, I agree with that. One is called Zoombies. Like legit zoo and then.
So like zoo zombies is what they're going for.
Okay. So
what happens in Zoombies?
Oh, I love this part. So there's these monkeys that rare monkeys, rare species in the zoo, and they get this little disease, little infection, and so they attack the people. Eventually, they're trying to save this monkey.
See, a zombie purist would say that's not a zombie film. That's an infection film.
It's an infection.
Unless they die and come back, they're not zombies.
Oh. You'll get ready for it.
Oh, okay.
So,
zombies are coming, apparently.
So, they try to save this monkey. Her name's Sandy, if I remember. I haven't seen it in a while because it's not on Netflix anymore. But they try to save her, and she comes back from the dead, and her face is definitely all different. It's, infected. Okay. You can tell there's something off about her. And then she attacks every single one. There's 3 or 4 monkeys, so they attack everybody. Everybody's dead. And somehow they got themselves into the person's body. And so when these people finally come over to see why they hit the alarm bell, again, somehow this guy managed to stay alive, trying to tell them not to come in. The monkey somehow explodes from the body and tries to kill them.
Oh, but spoiler alert for Zoombies, by the way. Sorry. And, don't get into too many details. People might want to petition Netflix to bring back this quality film.
And sum it up, they affected the whole zoo, and no matter how many times you try to kill the animals, sometimes depending they would come back, and sometimes if you shot them in the right part they would die. This is all interesting animals, all different species, pretty cool. And my other one was there was a couple I forgot.
You have a lot of interesting movie recommendations. You'll have to...
It was also good. The first time I saw it, Mom could barely keep her eyes closed. Keep her eyes open.
So she fell asleep?
No. I said the opposite thing. She barely could keep her eyes open because she was scared of it. Okay. I didn't really see it scary because I built up the tolerance to horror films that I just pointlessly just got on my phone. I'm like, this is not scary. I can handle this. My favorite.
I never saw the new It. Again,
I loved Penny.
Spoiler alert. That's a more recent film and a more mainstream film.
I won't. But the clown's name.
Pennywise.
Yes.
That's a more recent film, but I saw the old Tim Curry version. I haven't seen the new version.
I haven't seen the newest version of It either. People say it's good. People say it's bad. So I haven't.
Oh, there's another new.
There's another
a new Penny. New version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently they're grown up and now they have to come back and kill this thing. So
even things that aren't old are new again. So
no clue. But it said it in the trailer. These people, the kids that were haunted, with this thing, finally came back to kill it in its hometown. Okay. I don't think there's really any issues, but there's a couple horror movies,
we'll have to look into that and see if how you can get access to the new It, so you can get caught up on all of your Pennywise related horror. So good stuff.
Oh, and the Joker's not really horror, but it's also good.
I heard that was good. I didn't see it. I'm not the person to do movie reviews because I don't see very many movies, but Joker was on my list. I just didn't get to it, but that's okay. So Mr. Right was Alyssa's recommendation.
That was one of hers, yes.
We will have to get back to you with the review.
Once we actually watch it.
Once Deli's watched it. So Alrighty, well, thank you for joining us for the list of movie recommendations.
Yes.
What are some of your favorites?
Please
List
say horror
them
movies
in the comments. If you have seen The Pack or Zombies or Cowboys versus Dinosaurs,
Yes.
or have other animal-related horror that you would like to recommend to Delphina.
Please.
Or any other comments, please let us know down below in the comments on whatever platform you're following. So thank you for joining us. Once again, I'm Liz.
And I'm Deli.
We are the hosts of the Chit Chat Circus podcast, and thanks for joining us. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.